Okay, so step three of I would probably just call it a three-step process for getting Coventry Carol level 3 down. Step three is the part that nobody likes. So let's say you're comfortable with those chord shapes, you're comfortable with playing the thumb, playing the bass line, and then these guys picking up the melody. You're like, okay, I got those first two parts down. What's next? Well, you guys ever meet somebody who is like used to be super heavy, and then you see them after a couple of years, and they just look like a new person, just like strong and lean, and like carrying themselves with a little bit more confidence. And you're like, oh my gosh, how did you like? What did you do? How did you make this amazing change? And they say, oh, you know what? I changed my diet. I started eating other things, and I started going to the gym. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Like literally the same thing that every person who makes those kinds of changes in their life says. They just say the same thing. So it's the same thing here. Once you have those chord shapes down and the thumb bass line and the melody nailed down, the next big trick is not that much of a trick after all. Go down to the bottom of the Soundslice screen where it has your BPM printout, okay? And you're gonna move it to a place that's comfortable for you. Okay, 75, nice and slow, right? And you're going to play it slowly and correctly. Okay, if you make mistakes, that's fine. Stay at that same level or slow it down. But once you have it comfortable, slow, then you start speeding it up. Okay, so here we are at this speed. Let's see if we can pull this one off. Okay, and again, slow. This is 75. I'm not sure how fast this is going to come out. Maybe it's too fast. We'll find out. Maybe I should have taken it at that speed when I recorded the demo for you guys, because that was much easier than what I was doing. Dang. All right. So yeah, very slowly, do it correctly. Think so the whole thing about leading with chord shapes and then the bass line with the melody is because you're really going to think about where your hand is going to be for all those parts of the song. So do it as slowly as you feel like you need to in order to do it right. Nobody has ever said, oh man, can you please play that faster and sloppier? Like never. So yeah, slowly, correctly. Use the metronome down here. I also like, I'm going to put this away for a second. I also like when I'm working on stuff, I always do this, play with the count in. And sometimes I'll do this, use horizontal view and keep the playhead at the left of screen. When you do those things, it makes this scroll. Okay, that works for me. The other thing that might help you out too, there's a couple of sections in this song where you're going to catch the low note, pardon me, with your thumb, and your picking pattern might change a little bit. So if that's the case, if that's what you like to do, print a copy of this out and actually start writing in, P for your thumb or I for your index finger. Marking up fingerings is a great way to teach your fingers where you want them to be at the time that you need to play something. Okay. Yeah, improvising, just making up a fingering might work, but it's generally better to go in there and set it up, because your brain is smart, but your fingers are dumb. If you teach them how to do the same thing the same way every time, you can build in really good habits with your fingers using your brain to kind of inform those decisions. So there you go. 3-step plan to take care of Coventry Carol level 3.